Good morning, my beautiful people, whenever you're watching this anyway. This is Miriam K and welcome to my channel. In the past couple of weeks, I have been seeing some stories coming up, that kind of bring back a lot of memories for me to my family. And today I want to talk about something that is close to my heart, something that is very personal to me, and something that has been a major part of my life. And for those of you that know me probably know, and that is sickle cell. Yes, I have sickle cell. I am SS and I was properly diagnosed. You understand why I said properly diagnosed later on, when I was 12 years of age, when I moved over to the UK. And yeah, and since then it hasn't been easy, but hey, the fact that you're even seeing this, I'm here, that alone is great. And thanks be to God for that, my family and my medical team, everybody that's played a part. So as I was saying earlier, I have been coming across the story about a pastor and his wife having some issues, and talking about the wife having an unholy child that has sickle cell and he didn't have it. I'm not here to talk about them. I don't know about their personal life in any way, but in life I always see something, take something good out of a situation, so turn it into a learning experience, a teachable moment. And because of all of this, a lot of people have been, they're just a bit confused. Some people like, what is this, what's genotype? Majority of people, especially based in West Africa, do know about sickle cell. They've heard about it, but some people I've heard is not accurate. Some is just based on either speculation, stigmas, or the sort of things. So yeah, so even though some people may feel like they know about the condition, but I thought this would be a great opportunity as somebody who actually has gone through, still going through, the effect of sickle cell, that I will come and talk about it. And in the past couple of years as well, I have known people who have had kids with sickle cell, and I've spoken to some parents. And as hard as it is for me, I always say I'm grateful that God has put me in that sort of position to be able to do that. So I just wanted to first start by talking about sickle cell. What sickle cell is. Sickle cell disease is as a result of a faulty gene. Our blood is made up of hemoglobin and that. So what makes that hemoglobin is part of our genes. When a child, when a baby is made, they take genes from their parents, from the dad as well as the mom. So that's where the whole genotype thing comes, because sickle cell came about. There is still a bit of not certainty about how exactly it came about, but most of what is accepted is that as a result of our body basically trying to protect us from malaria, kind of, our body was just trying to, I think, find a way to fight malaria, which didn't seem to go too well, because it came about with sickle cell, which now, I don't know back then, but now it's definitely worse than malaria. Malaria is no longer a disease that's killing people, but back then it was. And yeah, our genes kind of mutated and came about with sickle cell. So for many years people didn't even know what sickle cell was, because our symptoms are very similar to so many other conditions. Hence the reason why some people don't even get diagnosed early, or they don't really know, because the symptoms are so similar to many other illnesses. And especially growing up in Africa, they just, a child starts to get sick, it's just, oh, the child is sickly, that's the end of it. Nobody ever tries to, well, a lot of people, some people do, and that's more so back then. I think now we are more educated and more knowledgeable about this, about the condition, so now more people get diagnosed. So that's what sickle cell is. So that gene, you take the gene from both parents. So genotypes come in a variety of ways. We have AA, and AA is somebody who does not carry the sickle cell faulty gene. And AS is somebody that has one normal gene and one faulty gene. Hence, they are called a carrier. And then you have somebody like me, who is an SS. So both my parent and an SS is somebody that is the actual sufferer, somebody that has the disease. So for my parents, my mom had AS, my dad had AS. And my brother was born and had AS too. So, and they didn't even know the start at that moment back then that this is the 80s, late 80s. They didn't even realize what it was or knew about it. So my brother had AS. I came along, I had SS. And I have also another sister that's AA and another one that's AS. I decided to just take the bad for both the faulty genes from my parents. You know, so even when I was young, my mom always kind of, she always explains to me that when I was young, there was a particular time when I was just crying endlessly, and she kind of just, her mind wasn't at rest. She knew that something's wrong because I was not a crying baby. I didn't cry, frequently as a baby. So she had taken me to the hospital to get tested. This was back in early 90s. And she did a test and they said, no, I was just a carrier. So my mom was like, okay, we've done this. She's a carrier. It's all good. And my mom traveled over to the UK when I was 4, and I stayed with my grandmama aunties, my extended family. And when I turned 6, yeah, that's the time everything kind of just changed. And I had my first crisis, which I still vividly remember. I had my first crisis at the age of 6, and I knew something wasn't right, but for a long time they just didn't know. They couldn't pin what was wrong with me. We went to so many doctors, I was just told so many different illnesses that some I can't even remember, given so many different treatments. And my mom, after being in the UK for some time, while she was trying to bring us over to the UK as well, she started doing nursing, and she attended, I think she went to a water placement where she kind of started putting, like, just adding 1 + 1, realizing that, hold on, the symptoms that they keep saying, because I was getting sick very, very frequently. So eventually she was able to kind of tell that something isn't right, So that is just how it is for me. And also, in terms of getting tested, the way you can be tested for sickle cell is through your blood. So it's through a blood test. That's the only way of finding out whether or not you have sickle cell. Nowadays, those tests can be quite accurate, but some years ago they were not, because I was first told I was AS, and it turned out I am SS. And I know so many other people that have had those sort of situations, and that is why I really wanted to call because when they were talking about the story, the wife was saying, that's your child, and the pastor will say no, because the child has this, I don't have this. So sometimes tests are not always accurate, especially if you've done it many years ago. My advice to you is that get tested again now. If you did your genotype testing for sickle cell like 20 odd years ago, times have changed. Get it done now and get it done so you can have accurate results. When I met my husband, obviously straight away I told him about me being SS, and the minute we kind of realized that we wanted something serious, he had to just go and get the test done. And when I asked him, he said yes, he had done it in Nigeria and Africa, and he's AA, doesn't have anything. But even with that, I'm like, still, let's just get it done again. So we got it done, and yeah, he was AA, thankfully, and we were able to go on to plan our family, and had our twins. And thank God we ended up finding out, because imagine having 2 kids going through what I've gone through. I can only imagine. So it's very important to get testing done. That is the only way. Nowadays, the way that a lot of women end up finding out whether they're carrier or most of the time whether they're carrier, because when you suffer, there are of course some people that are sufferers and they have not had the effect of it, so hence they might not know. Yep, there's actually a famous writer, I think was it Hilary Blackman, something Blackman, I'll find out her name. I remember when I was a teenager reading her book, she actually did not find out she had sickle cell until when she was in her early adulthood. You know, so because there's some people that don't get affected until later on in their lives, and others early and others throughout. Like me, from the time I was 6, I've been having, it's been affecting me. Well, it's not always the case for everybody. And also sickle cell, there are different types. There's actually SC, which is another form of sickle, but it's the milder version of it. So it's so important to get tested to know the exact genotype that you have. That is the only way to find out. Get a test done, and when you go to do the test, just tell them straight up you want to find out your genotype, and they should be able to do that. Now, definitely UK, America, that's for sure, and Africa as well. Now there are more accurate, better testing being done, and even with my foundation and even the people, the members that we register, as part of the registration process, we don't only want to know, we need to first know whether they have been tested and where, because we need to confirm these things, because sometimes people guess. There are sometimes, as I say, sickle cell symptoms are similar to a lot of things, and sometimes somebody may feel maybe, if their child is sickly, they may think it's that. So it's always the only way to know for sure is to get tested. So it's very important. And once you've gotten your test, this is for parents and everything that I'm talking to you. Once you've gotten the test done, and if it does come out that your child has sickle cell, is SS, please don't think it's the end of the world. I know as a parent, I cannot even imagine how it will feel. I still remember my mom getting the result when I was 12 years of age, when the letter came through that I had been tested, SSL. I remember my mom literally breaking down and crying. For me, it was a relief, but for her, of course, as a parent, it's very difficult. But please know that it's not the end of the world. Sickle cell now is not what sickle cell was before I myself was told I wouldn't make it past the age of 16, and this year, end of this year, I am about to turn 30 years of age. Not only that, I am the founder and the CEO of the Dora Foundation, which is for Sickle Cell Support and Youth Development. I've got my own personal consultancy business. I've got 2 kids, 2 beautiful kids, twins, boy and a girl. And I do public speaking. I go out there doing motivational talks. And a lot of this for me, I feel maybe I wouldn't be quite the person I am if it was not for the journey I've gone through. Don't trust me, I have had downs. I have gone through it. Those that know me know I have spent endless of time in hospital. Like literally, I remember one time my husband making a joke that he has to share me with the hospital, but we this is what it is. So instead of just sitting down and just turning my head against the wall, or just thinking that no, it isn't worth it. No, I wake up each morning and I'm grateful to see another day. And with every birthday that comes, I give God the glory that I am still here to tell my story. And I want to work hard and do what it takes to also help others, other families, other sufferers, warriors, to be able to also have that testimony. Yes, sadly, there are people that pass away from sickle cell. Just last year, I had 2 close friends of mine that were just slightly older than me that passed away. It hurt me so much. I've had also people that have registered in my foundation that have passed that pains. But instead of letting that be in vain, I take that as a vow to keep fighting for other sufferers, warriors, for other families. It's not the end of the world. Nothing I can say can change what you're going through. But just for you to know that there can be you can have a child with sickle cell and they can go through the ups and downs like any other person in life and still come out at the end of that tunnel, still see the light at the end of the tunnel. I value and I am appreciative of everything, because I know each waking moment is a blessing, is a gift for me. Waking up, I've gone through situations that should have taken me out, but God continues to keep me here for a purpose. And if you do the test and you find out you or your child or family member has it, please, the best thing you can do is to be by their side, is to continue to encourage them. What played a big part in me being who I am today and fighting the way I fight and stay strong the way I stay strong is my family, my close friends around me, my team. These are people that keep me going, and it's brought me so much closer with my family because we have gone through things together. We share so much, and we fall down and we rise up, we fall and we rise. And no matter how many times we are knocked down, we still come out fighting. We still do. And that is it. My mom is my biggest cheerleader. She supports, she believes in me. She does not just see me as a child of sickle cell. She sees me as a woman, as a strong, independent woman. She sees me as a great mom. She didn't treat me different from my siblings growing up. She didn't. And that's why today I don't go out there looking for sympathy. Yes, my mom loved me, but there's a difference between loving and spoiling. And there are some that go through sickle cell having so much negativity and hatred towards the world. But that's not the way to go about, because your mind plays a great role in how your body copes with situations. And for me, one thing that nurses usually say is that Even when Miriam is in pain, you will come and be like, hi Miriam, I will still be there. Even if I can crack a little smile, I will do it. Because there is so much more in the world to be appreciative of. There's so many more blessings that I've been given that I focus on rather than that is sickle cell. I have sickle cell. Sickle cell doesn't have me, and I will never let it have me. So please, this is just for you parents that may find out something like this. Just have the courage and be supportive to your kids. I'm gonna put some information about other websites you can get more information, testing and things like that I hope can help somebody. And please just continue to stay strong, please, because the only way to keep fighting is to never give up. Never give up. I'll put information. I'll also put information to my foundation. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, comment, and click the notification bells. Whenever I put up a video, you'll be notified. Thank you and have a blessed day. Thank you so much.